Avión.
the Spanish word for airplane.
Avión.
1, 2, 3, go!
I'm so happy. I want to go.
And good morning, and welcome to another beautiful day here in the United States. Moses, do you know where we are right now?
In the middle of the island.
In the middle of an island. We are in the
true.
middle of Key West Island because we had some problems with our flights and things like that. And there's all this crazy weather in the north of the United States, which you saw in previous video. But Moses, I wanted to recap. And when you go to the United States as a kid, sometimes you notice things that I, as an adult who grew up in the United States, don't notice. So, from an 8-year-old's perspective, we're going to talk about the similarities and differences between Latin America and Ecuador and Chile, where he was born, compared to Wisconsin, where we just were in the United States. Moses, can you think of a couple of ideas of things that you thought were different and just things that maybe were weird to you? Here, sit here.
The coldness.
All right. Come here. All right. There we go.
The
All right.
cold.
The cold. Yes. So we are in January, February right now, and it is really, really cold outside. Moses, how would you describe the cold of Wisconsin?
Cold.
Cold. Was there snow?
Yep.
Yep. There's a
Ice.
lot of snow, a lot of ice. It was so cold. And what do you have to wear in order to go outside in the United States?
A suero, pants, like 5 pairs of pants, 5 pairs of sweaters, 5 pairs of underwear, 5 pairs of socks, 5 pairs of hats, 5 pairs of gloves. Yeah.
Exactly. And all of that, Moses, you remember what you said one of the first days? You said that it was sunny outside, so why do I have to wear all of these clothes? It's deceiving, right? When it's sunny outside in the United States, in the northern parts, it is not necessarily going to be hot outside like it is in other places. We lost Moses. The people here in the airport are so kind. They gave him this really cool airplane, and he's just flying it around and wanted to show it. But Moses, come back. All right, Mel, what were some other things that you noticed? Do you remember?
Yeah.
What? How about the water? Can you explain the water thing and drinking?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
You can drink from everywhere except the toilet.
You can drink from everywhere except the toilet, exactly. Even in the bathroom, you can take the water out of the bathroom in the sink and you can put it into a cup and you can drink it. And he thought that was so crazy, we had to take a video and show his classroom when he goes back that he could take the water out of the sink in the bathroom and drink it. The only place you can't is the toilet, which I never think of because you just think you come back to the States, you can drink the water out of the faucet. In Chile too, in Linares, you just drink it right out of the faucet. But in Ecuador, at least, you can't do that. So he thought it was so crazy you could just drink it even out of the bathroom faucet. I think, Moses?
What?
The other thing that he noticed was that in the United States, there's no fences around all of the houses. In downtown areas of maybe Chicago or New York City and places like that, there might be some fences, but typically, in the typical house in the United States, there aren't fences. And there aren't dogs that are just outside because they would freeze to death. But there's no fences, right, Moses? You notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And anyone can just walk up to the house. Like, that idea to him is kind of weird, right? Like, you need a fence to say, like, hey, I'm here. And you don't ring a doorbell. You just scream and say, hey, I'm here. Or,
Hey, I'm here!
we live in a conjunto, which is like a suburban area with a gated fence. So you would have the guard called to you. And in Miami, they do the same thing in a lot of places, which is just crazy to me. But, Moses?
What?
There were some other things too that he noticed, like the Walmart. Walmart has so many different Legos. In Latin America, you have to go to like a specialty store in order to get a Lego, and they're way more expensive. So we go on like Facebook Marketplace and find some used ones, and you go to Walmart and there's deals on the Legos, and he's so excited because of these different things. I think that the other thing that maybe he notices might be that everyone needs a car. like public transportation, it exists, but it's not very popular. And I think part of that is because of it's so incredibly cold outside in the wintertime. Just to go and walk out your door and get into a cold car and wait for it to warm up as you drive away is enough. But most people are going to have some sort of a car. And most people are going to have 2 cars. One for the husband, one for the wife. And so I think that that those 5 things are just very interesting things that I picked up from Moses while we were going along and talking. Here's his airplane. Moses, is there anything else that you noticed in the United States that's different?
No.
Things that you might want to share with your friends?
No.
No? It was pretty fun though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun. So, I wanted to share some of those things because we're waiting here in the airport. We went from Milwaukee to Chicago. Our flight was canceled to Miami from Chicago. And now we got a flight to Key West out of all the places. And then we're going to go from Key West to Miami, Miami to Quito. So we'll be back late tonight, but we left early this morning. We left about 12 hours ago, thanks to my mom who dropped us off at the airport at 5 in the morning. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video of just listening to Moses through his ideas of what were different. Maybe he wasn't fully here because he hasn't slept very much and he has a new airplane, but there are things that I noticed from him that he thought were very, very interesting about being in the United States. And there comes and goes the airplane. We're going to board another airplane right now to go to Miami, but hope that you enjoyed this video for today. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Check me out on Instagram and TikTok. And from Moses here in the airport where he is completely bored and just had some key lime pie. We'll see you guys next time. But for now.
Ciao, Piscow!